Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today, Fountain Pen Focus Day, continuing the Australian pens with a Just Turnings Enceladus in Brooks Blank's Elvenwood. Stunning pen, absolutely gorgeous. Join me now down on the table, take a look at the pen, we'll walk through its body, do some size comparisons, some weights and measures, a writing sample. Then I'll give you my thoughts and my scores for this pen. Welcome down to the table. Here we've got today's pen. This is a Just Turnings Enceladus, the material by the Carolina Pen Company, Brooks Blank's Elvenwood. Beautiful resin. This is a resin pen, not a wooden pen. Just turning this around so you can see the colours shining on it. Absolutely stunning. We've got dark browns, we've got some pale browns, got some like goldy colours. Maybe hints there of like a yellowy gold type colour. Absolutely stunning pen. Very nice. The finish of this is a matte finish. Stephen Just, who makes the pens, he recommended a matte finish. Quite happy to go with his recommendation. Really stunning pen. Let's do a walk through the body. At the end here, we've got a slight dome. You can't really see it head on, but down you can. We also have a slight dome at the bottom. The cap, same width all the way down. There may be a slight taper out, but if there is, it's only very slight. At the bottom, we've then got a nice sharp taper down to the body, so you cannot feel a drop off. It's just been engineered properly, made properly, so it just flows on down. The body, again the same width until we get to about here, then it starts to taper down until we get down to the bottom. Really nice, really stunning, simple looking pen. The cap, half, 1, 1.5, about 2 turns to take off, which is fine. I quite like that. Taking off the body, loads and loads of threads. We've got a cartridge converter here. Not a lot of ink left in it. You can see here the ink. This is a shimmer ink. You can see the shimmer particles. So as we're going through, I'll make sure I keep agitating this to keep that and get that into suspension. Loads of threads, so I believe you should be able to eyedropper this if you wish to. I don't intend to. More than happy using the converter. Here we've got the section in that same material. It's slightly concave, nice comfortable section. Find the width is quite nice, quite enjoyable, and my fingers, they just fit in that concave shape really nice. Now I do hold my pens down near the bottom. If you hold your pens further up, again it feels comfortable. The threads not really there to annoy you. You know, yes, I can feel it with my thumb, but that's because I'm looking for it. Let's take a look at the nib. So this is the only nib I've got from this manufacturer, which is Cypress. All my other Just Turning pens I got with the Yoho nibs. He does offer a number of different nib options, and Mr. Cypress, or Cypress as it's called now, is one of them. This is a steel nib. So it's primarily the steel colour, but then we've got this gorgeous bit of decoration with we've got a love heart on there above the breather hole. Below the breather hole, we've got Cypress, we've got a logo, then we've got B. This is a broad nib. Very nice, very simple. Then we've got the feed there. You can see some of that shimmer there in the feed. Nice pen. Let's swap on over and do some size comparisons. I've brought in my 2 standard size comparisons. We've got the Pilot Metropolitan and the Lamy Safari. The Just Turnings pen, longer than both of them. Width-wise, I would say it's also slightly wider than both of them. Let's pop the caps off. With the caps off, a little tiny bit of a difference now. We're still longer than the Metropolitan. Yes, I would say we're still longer than the Safari, but not by much. I would say maybe 3 or 4 millimeters. So not a lot longer. In the hand, this feels really, really nice. Now, one thing I've noticed, it's hard to actually see on here, I have had some ink leak into the cap when I first filled it. I just cleaned out the cap and don't seem to have had any issues since then, but I did have for a while ink here on the section, so every time I used it I had lovely brown fingers, but that was easy to fix. Does this post? No, doesn't post at all. I believe Stephen can make them so they do post if that's something you want, so you just need to contact him and have a chat. But yeah, really nice in the hand. Let's swap over and fetch in some pens that are in roughly the same price range. So here are the pens. The first pen we've got here, this is a Conklin All-American. This is the Courage model, roughly 194 Aussie dollars. The Just Turnings pen, when I got it, which was about a year ago, 195 Aussie dollars. Chances are the prices have gone up. Contact Stephen to get updated pricing. Then we've got the Narwhal Nautilus, 196 Aussie dollars. So we're going 94, 95, 96 with a 1 in front of them. So very, very similar prices. The Just Turnings, longer than both of them. Not by much, but definitely longer. I would say out of these three though, the Just Turnings is the narrowest in the body, but the section still looks quite nice. All three pens have got number 6 size nibs. We've got a Yoho nib here on the Conklin. We've got that Cypress nib there on the Just Turnings. And on the Nautilus, we've got the Narwhal nib. Let's just pop the caps on. Here we've got the caps on. The only real change, the Conklin looks a little bit shorter now, and the Just Turnings looks roughly the same length as that Narwhal Nautilus. Let's get these out of the way and fetch in the rule of measuring. Here we've got the rule of measuring. So the full pen, that comes in at 14.7 centimetres. Unposted, here we're looking at 13.4. Posted, as I say, doesn't post. The width of the body, that comes in at 1.38, and the cap, 1.51. The section goes from 1.07 up to 1.18 at both ends. Nice wide section, a really comfortable section. Let's get this out of the way and fetch in the scales of weighing. Here we've got the scales of weighing, so the full pen, 22 grams. Body alone, 16 grams. Remember, we've got a little bit of ink in there. Cap, 5 grams. So a nice lightweight pen. Doesn't feel it when you're writing though. It feels very nice. It disappears into my hand when I'm writing. Let's move this out of the way and fetch in the notepad of testing. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. Here we've got the notepad of testing. I'm going to write on a slight angle today. Here we've got the pen, as I say. Need to make sure I agitate it to get that shimmer there into suspension. So we've got here a Just Turnings. Enceladus. With a broad nib. And that nib, as I've already said, is a Cypress nib. Price-wise, when I got it, $195. Say, chances are the price has gone up now. The ink is by Diamine. And it's Yule Log. Nice brown ink, and it's got a really nice, hopefully it'll start coming out soon, a really nice coppery colour to the shimmer. Drying times, so we go immediate. Try and get a clean finger this time. 10 seconds. Let's start this again on the line below. Immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. One minute. After a minute, there's a teeny tiny smudge coming off, not really worth doing a 2-minute test. Line variation, so here's with no pressure. Here's with some pressure added. So yeah, definitely getting a wider line, but that's more because by putting the pressure on, I'm slightly widening the tines. So there's no pressure, with, none, with, none, and with. When I'm putting pressure on, it's not a lot. It's just enough really to see if I can get that line variation. Going to move the mic down to the page and write a sentence. That's quite nice. The nib does feel fairly stiff. It's pleasant though, it's nice to write with. We've got that nice audible feedback and tactileness. There's a little bit of tactileness there as well, so you can feel the pen writing. I say what I find with this pen, because of the lightness and the way it's made, it just disappears into my hand when I'm using it. Final test, flow test. Yeah, that goes really well. Even though there's a shimmer ink in here, not had any issues with this pen and nib. They've worked brilliantly. So as I say, I threw this shimmer ink because I thought I'm going to push it, and it handles it. It just eats it up very well. Let's just take a closer look at the writing. Just trying to capture that. To my eye, I'm seeing loads. Certainly on the first 2 lines, loads of that beautiful, like coppery, pinky coppery type shimmer. Not sure if the camera's picking that up. I'm just trying to hold it at different angles just to give you a chance to hopefully have it come through on the page. So what are my thoughts and my scores for this pen? We're going to start with pen looks. Absolutely stunning pen. Love the look of it. Love this material, this Elvenwood. I mean, when I ordered this, it was purely for the name because I'm into fantasy and I like the elven race. So Elvenwood, where in a lot of books, elves live in the Elvenwood. That's why I thought I'm going to get this. And wow, I'm so glad I did. This is stunning. Loads of different colours. I know I've got a brown ink in here, but you're not limited to brown inks. I think you could use quite a range because you've got enough tones in there. Pen looks, 9 out of 10. For build quality, handmade pen. Build quality is very, very good. You can see the passion that goes into these pens. You really can. Build quality, 9 out of 10. Writing experience. As I said, the nib does feel a little bit on the stiff side, but I don't mind that. I like tactileness when I'm writing. I do like some softer nibs, but I also like the stiff ones where you can really feel it, where it's getting towards being not so much a pencil, but heading towards that. Very nice though, very nice writing experience. 8 out of 10. Ink flow. As I've said, we've got this shimmer ink in here. Absolutely no issues. It's eating up. No blockages, no hard starts, no skipping, just writes and writes and writes. Very nice, and normally it's hard to fetch over on the camera. I do see loads of the shimmer coming out when I'm writing with this. Ink flow, 8 out of 10. Comfort, nice pen. I say, it virtually disappears in my hand. The section, nice and comfy. I hold my pens down near the bottom. That's really nice. If you hold your pens further up, as I already said, you can't really feel them threads, so comfortable really, I think, no matter where you hold the pen. It's nice. It's got a nice length to it. You wouldn't need to post this, to be honest. Just enjoyable. So for comfort, again, 8 out of 10. The hard one, value for money. This is not a cheap pen at $195 when I bought it, but I would say it is an inexpensive pen. Why I'm saying that, this is a handmade pen. There's a lot of time goes into making these. You've got a pen that is turned by hand, not by a programmed computer which is throwing them out one every minute or so. These handmade, you're talking hours of work to get this. Once it's turned, it is then got to sand it, is then got to put on any finishes to it. So I think for a handmade pen, $195 is actually well worth it. I love the material. Very nice. Value for money. Because of the price, I'm going to slightly mark it down because of that. So I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. That means the total score for the Just Turnings Enceladus with Diamine Yule Log is 8.33 out of 10. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. What are your thoughts on this beautiful Just Turnings pen? I know I'm a little bit biased because I absolutely love it. Please drop your comments down below. Let's kickstart that conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.